Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. For those of you that are new here, I want to say welcome, and I hope you stick around. If you find anything of value, the only way to support this channel is to like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever. Yeah. For those of you returning and for the subscribers, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you, and I'm glad you've come back too. So in today's video, we're going to do the beginning, middle, end. We've done that in a couple videos, but yeah, that's what today's video is about, is for those of you just starting. A lot of things are going on in the world, and I understand more people are checking out preparedness, and let's be perfectly clear for those new people. This is a preparedness channel. It's not a prepper channel. So there's other ones out there. I've mentioned that before. This channel is about preparedness. So for the beginners and the ones that are in the middle, and for those up there, I'm sure they're already aware of it, but the best way to get into preparedness is to have the mindset that no one is coming to save you. Yeah, I know, that sounded really rough, but it's just on the surface for you beginning, and a little maybe deeper for those in the middle, and for the high-end people, they're more into it than that. But preparedness is about being accountable and responsible yourself. So it's not about waiting for someone to come and save you. It's not about waiting for someone to get you out of whatever small, medium, or large trouble that you're into, or that's come upon you. It's about you taking care of it. That is what preparedness is. Yes? For those of you that are just starting, beginners, I guess we'll say, no offense to the title, but beginners, is I don't know what brought you here. It's probably world events is what I would go on. I would guess. Yes, world events. So, starting with you, those that have been here before, or if you've looked at other channels, I'm sure that this isn't going to be something new, but you need to start living below your means. What does that mean? Well, it's easy. Most people in the United States, they do not live within their means. They live paycheck to paycheck. They're in debt. You need to get away from that. Hopefully, recently, we have inflation going up. The price of everything is going up. The price of gas is going up. Blah, 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 blah. All these things. And it always happens. And I don't understand why people don't understand that they need to live below their means. You need to get out of debt. You need to lower your standards. I don't mean any offense by saying that, but lower your standards, stop living the dream, because that's all it is, and start taking care of your finances. Now, I hate to be the guy who says there's not a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and that there isn't an Easter bunny. I think I've used that before, but there isn't. So you need to stop living that lifestyle. A recommendation. I don't tell people what to do. So this is just advice. However, if you think there's an issue and that's why you're here, if you believe that there's something going to happen, is happening, or has happened, that you need to start being prepared for, or again, preparedness, not the prepping thing up over here, then this is the best place to start. The best place to start is lower, I hate to say it, but you need to lower your standards. You need to live within, you know how much money you make. You know how much money you spend, okay? If you're in debt, or by the end, right before the next paycheck, you've got no money, I mean, no offense, but you're doing it wrong. All right, for those of you in the middle, and you guys that are beginning, you can stick around. We're just talking. So when it comes to being more self-reliant, saving money, what did I do? I'm getting ready to take a road trip. Now getting up to something really big, we're going to touch on it real fast. If there's not like a war or a Great Depression or something huge happens, I'm going to take a road trip. And I do it my way, and we may get into that some other time. But basically, maintenance on my car. So I use a treatment, I don't know, I use Seafoam, if you guys know what that is. But fuel injections, you spray it in, it cleans out all the gunk, you put some in your gas tank, you run it around for a while to blow out all the stuff, and then I change the oil. Now you can go to a local place, I'm going to say Jiffy Lube, but I'm not endorsing them or anything. And they'll do the same thing. They'll clean your fuel lines, and they'll change the oil for you. The difference is it didn't cost me like $100. or more. So I did it myself. Yes. Now, if you guys have been here for a while, you know I try to do more stuff on my own, and I hope you guys do it too. But it just happened, so this is reality. This is the real world, not, you know, some sort of hopes and dreams or whatever. But I actually did this. I have the tools. We've talked about that before, that when you do these things, you pick up the tools a little bit. I take care of my tools. I keep them, point at the toolbox. So, yeah, it's really simple. I have one of those containers that the oil drains in, and I go take it up to a local auto parts and recycle it. Yay! And get her done. Change out the oil filter. Again, I have the tools. It's not that difficult once you've done it a couple times. And for those of you who do it, you're like, yeah, Rick, pasha. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. But it's kind of for the, it's saving money. Okay? That's my money. My money I'm saving. And I'm being more self-reliant. Yes? Now, something again for those in the middle, maybe beginners, you can pay attention to this. Is the lovely lady in my life took a road trip, went to visit some family, and they went up in the mountains. They were doing some stuff. Doesn't really matter. But hold on a second. Where will I put it? Right here. I did a video on videos, but I'll put the last one, where she has a get home bag. If you're new, you can go watch that video so you know what it is. And she has an emergency vehicle bag. Again, if you're new, you can go and see what those are. I already put it up there. And she had that. Well, they went up in the mountains, and it was snowing, and they got stuck. And they were there for a while, but they got one bar, so they called some friends, and it took a while for them to get there. In the meantime, they tried to get themselves out, and they couldn't. They were they were high-centered a little bit in the snow, and they went through the get-home bag, and they went through the vehicle emergency bag for supplies, and they drank the water. I've shown you the supplies that are in there. And I did that checklist, remember? And there were things on that list. Again, you'd have to see the video. And one of the things on that list was a shovel. And I didn't have it. Yes? Lessons learned. So preparedness is not always about having everything you need ahead of time. That would be sweet. But it is about learning lessons. So, do this real quick. You guys see this? There's two of them. One for my car and one for hers. It's a GI trenching tool, I believe is what they call it. We'll call it a shovel, though. And yes, I got these. These are not from the really cool. There's some tool makers and knife makers that make these, and it has all the. No, this is a GI Joe one. I actually got this from a. What do you call those stores where they sell old government equipment? You know what I'm talking about. That's where I got them from. And it's tried and true. It hasn't changed in forever. I think, well, long time ago they used to have a long wooden handle on them, but not anymore. And they're actually date stamped. One of these is from 87 and one of these is from 03, I believe, and they haven't changed. It's the same thing. So one of these is going to my car, one of these is going to learn the lesson. Yes? Yes. Now, what else? They didn't want to eat the emergency food, and if you remember, I'm not going to put it up there again, in the bag there was like one little energy bar for them, so I'm adding more energy bars. Just so they had, when you're sitting there, it's not, it occupies time. They were there for a few hours. They had nothing to do. You with me? So they were munching. So that's what that is. And then gloves. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in mine, we have gloves. However, when you have multiple people, so adding another set of gloves. Yes? Lessons learned. When something bad happens to you, you have to learn your lessons from it. And again, this goes across to my bag too. I'm not going to wait till I get stuck in the snow or mud or whatever before I put a shovel in my vehicle. If I'm going to do it in one, I'm going to do it in the other. Does that make sense? I bet it does. Okay, now getting up here for people that are really, we'll talk about preppers. And again, I mentioned it, I know in another video, I go through the feeds and I look, but listen, preparedness versus prepping or whatever. Preparedness is not about fear. It's the exact opposite. Preparedness is so that you don't have to worry, that you don't have to be afraid, that if you have this stuff in your vehicle, you can just be like, oh, what if this happens? Oh, I got it covered. You know, it's good to go. Oh, it's about taking care of my finances. What if inflation goes up or, you know, something like stuff becomes more expensive? Oh, no, it's cool. You know, I got money and I live below my means and I've already stocked up a little bit. You know, I've got some food and stuff. So if the coffee, you know, can't find coffee anywhere, which happens. Oh, I got coffee. It's about being at ease. That's what preparedness is about. Yes? It's not about fear mongering. It's not about prepper porn. It's not about fear porn. It is. Apparently, that message I think is getting out because I notice what's trending is people are like, oh, no, no, calm down, everybody. You know, it's not about fear. It's not about, and I'm like, okay. And one, I watched it. I'm not going to tell you when or who it was, but it's like, listen to me. I understand that my titles of my videos might seem like clickbait, and I understand that, but I'm doing it for you. I want you to be prepared. So it's not about panic. And then they went into panic, and they were doing I'm like, oh my God, seriously? So, no, that's not what it's about. Well, that might be what, I don't know. But preparedness, this channel and preparedness, that's not what it's about. It's about not being afraid. You with me? I hope so, because that's what we're here for. And final thought. So there is a lot of stuff going on in the world over in Eastern Europe, I guess we'll say, and some would say over in Southeast Asia and up in Canada or even here. Okay, there's lots of stuff and they seem huge. Big things that maybe you should be worried about. Like, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, no. I understand having a concern. There is a logical concern for things. That's not. I'm talking about fear. Fear is bad. Negative emotion. Done videos on it. Don't know if I'm going to put it there or not. You can't think, and other people aren't thinking. I don't know if you watch the news. I hope some of you do. People are losing their frigging minds out there. They're being psychopaths. There's road rage and parking lot rage and store rage. It's just like, holy Moses, are you serious? They're losing their minds. Don't be one of those people, okay? It's not about fear. It's about taking what the situation is, logically taking whatever the situation is, backing it up. What can you do? What can you do? The little things that you can do so that you're not afraid. Yes? That's preparedness. All right, that's enough for today. It's getting cold here. We got a storm coming through. I was starting to work in the yard and the gardens and getting stuff prepped. Now I got to back it up a little bit and wait for the weather to go through. Hopefully here in a couple of days. We'll see what happens. Got to get ready for this year. Yes, because I'm old and I garden. I think that's the way of it. But anyways, I hope this finds you well. I hope you are positive. I hope you are happy. And I'm hoping that you're getting prepared. Peace.